Hello, my darling Coco Puffs. It's your girlfriend, Coco Peru, coming to you from my home. I just returned from the UK, had a marvelous time. And let me tell you, those UK fans, the best, but also so generous. And I got so many gifts. I can't eat teas, artwork, 2 boxes of halva from the same person that gave me this book. His name is Ahmed or Ahmad. I don't know exactly how to say it. I'm sorry. I'm going to say Ahmad. A beautiful, beautiful boy, gorgeous. I kind of fell in love with him instantly. He's studying in Manchester. So sweet. He brought me several gifts, and this was one of them because he missed me doing videos and missed story time and said, no pressure, but if you ever want to do a story time, I bought you a book. He actually said, I have no idea what this book is about, but because it mentions tea, I thought it would be appropriate. And I just thought that was so sweet. So, to honor his wishes, I dressed up on a Saturday afternoon to read to you a book called The Tiger Who Came to Tea by Judith Kerr. And here it has a little sticker that says Judith Kerr 100 Years, which is a lot of Judith Kerr if you ask me. Oh, there's a little forward here by Judith. She wrote in February of 2018. By the way, this book was first released in 1968 when I was only 3 years old. The magic begins at tea time, and I'll tell you that really speaks to me. There is a certain time in the afternoon where if I don't have a cup of tea, I will kill someone. As a child, my mother was the same way. There came that certain time and it was like, don't speak to me. There are more important things than your childhood needs, and that is a cup of tea. And now I have turned into my mother. Judith writes, I first told this story to my small daughter. Well, that was your first mistake, Judith. Long ago. She was rather critical of my other stories, but used to say, talk to the tiger. Well, I don't know what talk to the tiger means. So when she and her brother were both at school and I had more time, I thought I would make it into a picture book. And much to my amazement, here it still is. Judith Kerr in 2018. By the way, the children's names are Tacy because she dedicated for Tacy and Maddie. Tacy, what an odd name. Maybe it was Stacy and Judith was kooky at the time. It was the 1960s and said, let's drop the S. Tacy. She'd say, talk to the tiger. And she said, maybe I need to write a book for this fucking kid to shut her up. Once there was a little girl called Sophie, and she was having tea with her mommy. Actually, it's written mummy because this is from the UK. But mummy sounds very much like a, Egyptian mummy. So I'm not saying mummy, it bothers me. It's mommy. She was having tea with her mommy in the kitchen where you have your tea. Suddenly there was a ring at the door. Sophie's mommy said, I wonder who that can be. Well, it can't be the milkman because he came this morning. Mommy's was the 1960s. She had a thing with the milkman. And he had already come. And it can't be the boy from the grocer because this isn't the day he comes. A lot of coming in this story. And we've only just started. And it can't be Daddy because he's got his key. I bet he does. We better open the door and see. Sophie opened the door and there was a big, furry, stripy tiger. Are we now getting into the furry territory? Were there even furries back in the 1960s? Who knows? The tiger said, excuse me, but I'm very hungry. Do you think I could have tea with you? Sophie's mommy said, of course, come in, because that's what you do. Tiger shows up at your door and it can talk and you invite it in. And they're worried about drag queens being around children. So the tiger came into the kitchen and sat down at the table. Sophie's mommy said, would you like a sandwich? But the tiger didn't take just one sandwich. He took all of the sandwiches on the plate and swallowed them up in one big mouthful. He still looked hungry, so Sophie passed him the buns. See, that's where I would have kicked the tiger out. I would have said, no, you're a real selfish bastard. Get the hell out of my house. I offered you a sandwich and a cup of tea, and you eat the whole plate? Get out. But the British, they're so polite. Their rage is all internal. Comes out later in kinky ways. But again, the tiger didn't eat just one bun. Oh no, he ate all the buns on the dish. And then he ate all the biscuits. and all the cake until there was nothing left to eat on the table. So Sophie's mommy said, "Would you like a drink?" And the tiger drank all the milk in the milk jug and all the tea in the teapot. He looked around the kitchen to see what else he could find. He ate all the supper that was cooking in the saucepans and all the food in the fridge and all the packets and tins in the cupboard. And he drank all the milk and all the orange juice and all Daddy's beer. Oh, Daddy's an alcoholic. Don't worry, he'll go out and find more. He's got it hidden around the house. And all the water in the tap. Wait, he drank all the water in... How does that happen? I don't understand that. And I don't think they have wells well, maybe in England, out in the farmland, in a little town. I don't know. I don't live there. And he said, "Thank you for my nice tea. I think I better go now." And he went. That's not polite. You know, he could have sat around, had a conversation, maybe told them a little story about, how a tiger learns to talk. Sophie's mommy said, "I don't know what to do. I've got nothing for Daddy's supper. The tiger has eaten it all." Okay, now she worries. Look at her sitting there. She's like, oh no. Oh no. And Sophie found she couldn't have a bath because the tiger had drunk all the water in the tap. Again with the tap. I'm not buying it, Judith. Just then, Sophie's daddy came home. So Sophie and her mommy told him what had happened and how the tiger had eaten all the food and drunk all the drink. And Sophie's daddy said, "I know what we'll do. I've got a very good idea. We'll put on our coats and go to a cafe." See, that's not the reaction my dad would have had. My dad would have thrown a chair through the wall. So they went out in the dark, and all the street lamps were lit, and all the cars had their lights on, and they walked down the road to a cafe. That's lovely. Now, see, look that's actually a beautiful picture. They had a lovely supper with sausages and chips. That sounds disgusting and very British. They've come a long way since this was written. I had the most wonderful food while I was over there. So they had sausages and chips and ice cream. In the morning, Sophie and her mommy went shopping and bought lots more things to eat. Oh, okay. This is the big twist in the story. I'm very surprised. And they also bought a very big tin of tiger food in case the tiger should come to tea again. But he never did. That's how it ends. But he never did. Judith, that's how it ends. Did you just get tired? I know you had 2 kids. You were tired. You thought, you know what? This is good enough. They don't deserve more, these 2 little bastards. This is the book. This is what they're getting. And look, the tiger is literally playing a horn that says goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Even the tiger is done. But he never did. I just do have to read this to you because I read this right before I read this story. It says, "Beloved by millions," and rightly so. Beloved by millions? But he never did. Beloved by millions? I should write a children's book. I think I could get reviews beloved by billions. It's that easy, but he never did. Maybe it was easier in 1968. I actually think as a kid I would have loved this book, and that's who it's for, rotten little bastard kids. I want to thank Ahmed. I will always cherish this, as bizarre as it is. It will be in my library forever. And I thank you so much for your generosity, and thank you for enjoying Storytime with Coco Peru. Mwah! We were walking in London one afternoon. It was a beautiful sunny day, remarkably. This guy walks by me and he says to the person he's walking with, "I'm all about a good pickle." I thought, did I just find my soulmate? Because you know what? If you open my refrigerator, there's a jar of pickles in there. Oh yeah, I can't live without my pickles. I don't care. Because you know why? I'm all about a good pickle. But he never did.